Well, it's been a quiet week on the island, my hometown, set here on the edge of the San Francisco Bay. We passed the longest night of the year, Monday, so now going forward we can expect the days to grow brighter and warmer as the world turns her face towards the source of life and light. Weather's been pretty unruly lately. Monday, Javier noted there were seagulls flying over the Safeway parking lot at Marina Square, and sure enough, a dock walloper came in on the heels of yet another in a series, and we had a lot of good cold rain and a fair amount of frigid weather for us. It even got to freezing. Got down to 28 degrees, as Strange to Jim reported over on Santa Clara. It got so cold that Jacqueline took to moving into the front room after her husband had gone to work at the factory in Richmond with her blankets and her pillow, and there in the front room she would snatch a few more hours of sleep under the warm covers with Haggis the dog before going off to her own job at the beauty parlor on Park Street. Monday morning, Father Guimon of the Church of Our Lady of Incessant Complaint dropped by during one of his regular seasonal holiday visits, hoping to catch Jacqueline before she went to work at the beauty parlor. He found her answering the door in a nightgown, not unusual for the father. However, there was a blanket there on the floor with a form underneath it. She had clearly just gotten up, and that form was moving, and he was aware that this was a good Christian woman with a husband who had unusual work hours, and there was a form under a blanket in the front room, and she had just gotten up, and that form was moving under the blanket, and he said, "Oh, Jacqueline, am I disturbing you? Perhaps I should come another time." And she said, "Oh, no, it is nothing, but don't come in right now." In reality, the place was quite cold in the back, and she didn't want to break the partition. However, the good father said, "I understand," and he went away from Jacqueline's with the intention of somehow finding a way to speak to her husband at the earliest opportunity. All of us here are happy to welcome back the Island Life Messengers from their missions. Our generous editor has given everyone the week off so as to recuperate from their injuries. The mission to find the mayor of Lake Wobegon failed again. So our offer of Sister City status remains up in the air for the time being. We always wanted to be like Mr. Kaylor, growing older and wiser with each broadcast over the years, talented and known by talent, dispensing avuncular wisdom, fabulous Scandinavian woman hanging on our arm, adored by millions, and going to work wearing bright red tennis shoes. Well, we didn't get talent or any of that. We just got older. Our messengers up north got misdirected to a place called Bear Lake and got entangled with some scheme to smuggle Canadians over the border from the numerous maquiladora towns that pepper the other side. It all ended in a terrible melee of fur-flying teeth and nails and atavistic savagery, a terrible mess involving Homeland Security the Coast Guard, which keeps a cutter stationed there at Bear Lake, and the INS. So, this year we'll just renew our KQED membership and try again next year to find the mayor. As for the mission to save Private Opus, well, sad to say that one didn't fare so well either. The messengers made their way through dense lines of circumlocution, graphical challenges, and dangerous public appearances to arrive at far-off Bloom County, there to encounter the formidable Ms. Grimoire.
What makes you think you have qualifications to adopt a stray from here? Why, you are all animals. Animals, I say. Do any of you possess a license? No?
At the Bloom County Animal Shelter, after finding the Herald offices desolate, the daisy patch paved over, and Cutter John's wheelchair rusting in the weeds. The boys managed to sneak by Ms. Grimoire to find only 2 surviving penguins in the coop. The first proved to be an eye-shade-wearing sardonic fellow by the name of Sparky. "Hey, excuse me." The second was one of Scandinavian origin named Linux, who seemed to be happy enough there, looking for all the world like he had polished off a mess of herring. As for Bill the cat, well, we learned he was adopted by an emporium of questionable repute on Columbus Avenue in San Francisco, California. They could have at least brought back the wheelchair. As for dear Opus, penguin extraordinaire, mentor, and good friend for over 30 years, he was gone. Good night, moon. Good night, stars. Good night, cows. Good night, daisies. Good night, noise. Good night, Opus.